Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as a Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to make a very shocking video for you guys, because this video needs to be shocking, because some of you need to be saved. The other side, the Stone Man's coming out, so the Obsidian Stone Man is the Florida Obsidian Man is all of a sudden about to emerge. The Black Hyperstein Stone Man is now about to emerge, because, yeah, this is so necessary. This video is going to be talking to you about how you guys cannot get evil-eyed. And before I start this video, apparently some of you just don't get it. I'm not saying this to be mean, but and for the people who do get it, please share this video with people who don't get it, or please share this video, or actually apply this video to the ones you love, because if you truly love and care about someone, you're gonna get them to stop doing something that hurts them. Okay? It might be harsh, the way you have to deliver something sometimes, but sometimes ripping off a Band-Aid, if you rip it off slow, it's gonna hurt even more. If you rip it off all at once, it's meh, okay? Now, the easiest way to not get hit by the evil eye is simply by shutting up. And some people are like, ah! And this is actually a very, I talked with my angels before I made this video, and this is actually something I have to deliver very harshly, because this is not a friendly message that is, I mean, it's a friendly message, but it has to get through to certain people. I have to make sure people are getting this information. The thing is, some of you, and I see it, I on my Instagram story, on my Facebook, some of you will watch a YouTube video of me from the past, saying, oh, this is how you don't get hit by the evil eye, like black tourmaline, etc. The crystals do work, but the thing is, you really shouldn't even be posting certain things in the first place, because I have seen this, and it's so frustrating, because some of the things, because when you care, you try to help people, and the people make the same mistake as to what you taught them not to do, and the people are fully aware of it, and when it happens to them, they're like, oh, maybe I should listen, maybe they try to put two and two together, and like, okay, maybe Stone Man was right about this, and I see people make the mistake, and then they'll stop doing it after something actually happens. Oh, Lord. For example, I tell people, when you get a new car, and you're like, let's just say you really surpassed a new level about yourself, and let's just say maybe you wanted to buy yourself a better car before, maybe you didn't really care about cars. Now you bought yourself something nice because you feel like treating yourself. We're human. How many lives do we get? And then the people who are not putting in the work, or the people who are not really aligning themselves to be in that certain situation, will get angry because they're not in that position yet. They might have not even worked to get in that position. They might have not built themselves to be in the position. They might just not be doing anything at all to get themselves there. And when they see you post something like a car, they're angry. People get angry. Especially if you are someone making it out of a very low place into a very high place. And when you post that on your Instagram, which I highly suggest you don't, because I will see people, the people who watch, only some people, because people do learn. The people who watch some of my YouTube videos will post something on their Instagrams. Like, they'll post a car, or they'll post a bike, like a motorcycle. This is for one person, I hope, who watches this video, because that's exactly it. They'll post something, and I'm just using a vehicle as an example, because this is very common. And they'll be like, it depends on how the person posts it. It doesn't matter how they post it. If they post it braggy, it's kind of like pushing people to evil eye. People don't know they're evil-eyeing it. People have like a hate and an envy that they have not healed past. And people think it's okay because they put an evil eye emoji on it. Or instead of, one thing that I see very often is people will be like, well, I'm protected, I'm well-directed, my angels got my back. Oh, nothing can evil eye me. What do I see on Instagram? People post like, hashtag God or Goddess, and I'm like, You know how I feel about that, number one. I'm like, now you're really in the path of getting taught a lesson, but when, chills. Getting amped up for this, but certain people do deserve to hear the message, and then if they don't believe it because they don't believe energy exists, because there are some people in this world who don't think words have power. Certain YouTube comments have taught me that. If you've seen some of the YouTube shorts, power, people are like, oh, this dude thinks words have power. Like, are you serious? Words don't have any power. I'm like, ha, ooh, you're at the very beginning of the spiritual awakening, huh? You learn the hard way then. Because there's some people who will learn, like, okay, I've seen this mistake once. I've seen someone else make this mistake. And then you don't repeat it because you've seen someone else make it. So why would you repeat it if you just watch someone else make it? If someone burned their hand by putting it on a stove, are you going to walk up to that same stove and burn it? Or are you going to be like, are you going to walk up to the stove and burn yourself on the stove because, like, I didn't believe it was that hot? Well, I thought I was divinely protected. Yeah, you are if you make the right decisions. Certain people will put on a black tourmaline necklace and they'll drive on the sidewalk. Or they'll drive at 100 miles an hour on a 50 speed limit and they'll get pulled over. And they'll be like, Stone Man, you said your black tourmaline protects. I'm like, yeah, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on the right track. You're not on the right track, number one, when you're literally driving on a sidewalk, which I'm not, I can't share stories about specific people on here, but unless I have their full permission. Or when you're speeding and you're doing things wrong, you're going to get put in the right place so that you're helping yourself and you're helping others too, because you're going to hurt people driving on a sidewalk and you're going to hurt people going 100 miles an hour on a 50 mile an hour speed limit. Okay? It's simple. Back to why this is the easiest way to not get evil eyed. Don't share things with people you literally just met. If you know someone and you trust them and you know them for a long time and you just have a good feeling, good energy, versus when you tell that person something and it looks like that person's going through something and they look like they're about to puke whenever you tell them some kind of good news. Like, some people will literally get like kind of like they'll make a certain face in front of you, like like you're like, hey, I graduated today. No, I just got promoted at this position. Like, they're like, you did? I would like to do a skit one day with, like, evil eye skits, how different evil eyes look, because I see it in people's faces because I will make up certain lines at the gym to tell people, just because I know people at the gym, they straight up shoot things down with the evil eye, and it's very interesting because I'll write down the face that they made, or like the energy that they sent to something that's not even there yet. Like, and one thing I'll say is, I'll get this. For example, if I've never been able to get this crystal in my entire life, and I've actually taught you guys this before, if you know someone's gonna evil eye when you talk to them, and they ask something specific about you, give them something that hasn't happened yet that's probably gonna happen anyway, and they're just gonna manifest it for you. For example, if there's a crystal that's so rare, and this is how I've gotten certain crystals that are beyond rare, the crystal is so rare that you can't get it as jewelry. And I'll tell this person, I just got this new crystal. It's been so rare and I couldn't get it as jewelry before, and I finally have it. And they're like, oh, I can make a whole skit on this. There's different faces. There's like people will just look down and be like, or you'll see like, some of you know what I'm talking about. So you can say that. You can kind of do that because they're automatically manifesting it for you. So usually after I say that crystal, like within a week or two, pops into my life, and I'm like, oh, awesome. And I'll add it onto my armor or something like that. And I'm like, I know you tried to evil eye me because I just planted this seed that if it was a real seed, you'd have shot it down. And in 1 to 2 weeks, that seed wouldn't have been alive anymore because you just evil eyed it. Think about this. When's the last time you guys have said something to someone and you just got a bad feeling afterwards, like, that didn't feel right, that this person made a sideways look at me, and you can say whatever you want under your breath. You can say, I call my energy back to me. You can say, I'm protected by the black tourmaline I'm wearing. You shouldn't have put it out there in the first place, because now there's a whole code to when you put out certain things, especially outside your house, the enemy knows your plan now. Like, it's officially known by the enemy, maybe by one of his own people. Like, maybe that person is godless and doesn't really care about religion. Maybe they're against religion. Like, they're just, you don't know things about people. You flat out don't know things about people sometimes. So when it comes to this, plant a seed that's not even existent yet. Like, just say, like, oh, and you guys can plant anything. For example, if, let's just say, and I've done this with abs before. I've done this with, my abdominals at the gym. I did not work out abs at all for like 3 weeks at that time, and I know that's really bad. And I said to someone, "Oh, my abs are getting stronger and they're becoming more defined," and they're like, they just pause and just kind of look around and just like, "Oh, okay, like, oh, great, like, how did you do that? Like, you don't even do abs." It's like, and you feel a certain energy, but it doesn't matter because it hasn't happened yet. And I noticed my abs started getting stronger, and I'm like, energy does that when you transmute it. It's like, yes, it does, because people will literally go back and be like, "Well, I've been doing abs all week and I don't have abs." And I'm like, if you've seen what I originally looked like, I did not look like this, okay? This is a lot of work and effort on becoming stronger and more fit and correcting things in my diet, removing meat, getting rid of processed foods, etc. But people will literally evil eye anything that you have worked for because they don't have it and they're not willing to work for it. They'd rather hate on other people and just be bashful, rude, negative in their own minds, because sometimes these people will be the nicest people ever. That's why when you first meet someone, don't tell them everything about you. They could be the nicest looking person ever. You'll always have that awkward little feeling afterwards, like, maybe I shouldn't have told this person something. Come up with some kind of, like I said, skits about, like, just come up with a certain line, like, oh, like, if you're wanting to manifest that your health is getting better, be like, oh, my health is getting better. And the person probably won't have anything to say if they're, and the thing is, if they say something that's not the evil eye, because not everyone evil eyes, but a lot of people do, especially the people you don't know, or it's mainly people you don't know. The people you do know, you'll probably know they're evil eyeing you because they shot something down in the past before, and they've kind of gotten like, how dare they? And you'll just know. Your guides will be like, hey, this person just evil eyed you. Okay? When it comes to someone, and like I said, not everyone's going to evil eye you. Even if that person didn't evil eye you, you planted the seed anyway, and now you know who you can have a better feeling about. Back to this topic, because I've seen this on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. People will post really private things, including certain things that should not be posted is newborn children, because they're extremely vulnerable. They have protections, but you keep posting your newborn child over and over and over and over again. Like, for example, maybe if there's someone who can't have a child and they're watching you have a newborn, like, why does that thing have to be alive? Like, people will think the nastiest thoughts. You'll see them in dreams. You'll see snakes in dreams, and that means that person's literally a snake. Sometimes you'll see a snake in the dream, then you'll see the person's face. Some of you had that happen before. A giant snake is good. Little snakes are bad. Your guides will show you, especially angelic guides. They'll show you. There's light. Good is good. Wrong is wrong. Just the easiest way to not get evil-eyed is by keeping it private. And some of you can't keep it private. Some of you, I mean, when you have a friend, okay, that's amazing. You tell your friend stuff, your friend tells you stuff, etc. You're friends. If you have family members, some family members are not in a good place. Some of them are close to you and you trust them. Now, you can tell your angels everything. They know everything about you anyway. You can talk to them. Someone you just met on the street, they're asking you something, like, switch the conversation to them. Talk about them. Because you know, if you're a good person, you're not going to be evil-eyeing them. Because when you're doing well, you want to see other people do well too. People who are evil-eyeing you are not necessarily in a good place. And they won't just evil-eye you in the moment too. They'll be thinking about it when they go home. They're like, Porsche has a new Porsche. That Porsche is... Porsche. I'm getting better at name examples, but you guys gotta be more conscious of this. Like, you'll just know certain people you shouldn't be saying stuff about. I mean, about stuff about yourself. This video is really something that people will have to learn on their own. A lot of people will have to learn this on their own. People will end up hitting this over and over and over again, and they won't learn their lesson until they learn it by themselves. And you'll actually have a lot more opportunities by the end of the day. I know people who have had whole jobs canceled, whole company contracts, whole... I don't want to say specific things because I don't want to... ties with music get cut off. Ties with art get cut off. Ties with just... The stories are endless. But the thing is, like, people's small business, before it gets off the ground, they'll tell their entire family. And guess what their family says? Like, that's weird. You should probably go to school and get a job and don't do what you love doing and do something you hate doing. Like, no. No. That's why when you start a small business, have you ever heard a tree grow? I bet you haven't. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm wrong, I'm getting water, I'm getting sunlight, I'm getting food, I'm getting nutrition. Have you ever heard of a tree do that? No! Maybe with the plant wave thing. Kidding, but dun 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 da, 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 dun. If you don't know what plant wave is, it's pretty cool. I can't believe I even use that as an example, but guys, keep your plans private. If it's with your friend and it's actually because, for example, with people I do trust, the closest people to me, I will share stuff. I'll be like, hey, and that's how you can get some of your feedbacks, because sometimes you do need feedback on something. If you keep everything 100% quiet and everything 100% silent, sometimes you can't grow because you don't have that mind outside of yourself. Like 2 heads is better than 1. Sometimes 3 heads is better than 1. But when you overextend yourself, now all those heads are like daffodil heads that got chopped off. I stick by with what I said, and this shocks people. People are like, someone told me to shut up so I can't post everything that's happening to me, or every one of my successes on my story, and put an evil eye emoji, put hashtag witchy emoji, and then you post the most dearest things to you, and you're surprised when there's complications. You thought you were immortal and invulnerable and that you were above all other humans to the point where a hashtag would save you. Yeah, God literally is... Okay, when you go to God and ask him for protections, he's going to protect you. Use crystals that you work with, such as black tourmaline. And let's just say, and at this point in time, because let me make this very clear. They're like, why am I using black tourmaline or amethyst against the evil eye? Okay, if you haven't told anyone anything about yourself, I'm going to make this very clear, because sometimes people don't really get it, but people don't. It doesn't really make much sense, which is kind of a complicated topic because this doesn't resonate with everyone immediately. But why wear a crystal such as black tourmaline or Mexican fire agate or amethyst, malachite for evil eye? It's because you'll be going throughout your day in public, and people you don't even know exist will be like, they'll look at your shoes and be like, I wish that person would die. How dare they? Like that's just what's going on in this person's head. If you guys knew what went on in other humans' heads, it's not cool. Like, some people think the worst of thoughts ever. These quiet people. When you use telepathy crystals and you put them to your mind's eye, or when you wear them as chokers and you start hearing other people's thoughts, you're like, oh my god. And your angels usually drive them off because your angels will hear the thoughts before you do. Most of the time when you're wearing protective crystals, you won't even see that person, such as onyx and black tourmaline. Like, certain combinations of crystals will drive these people off. Some of these people have hateful thoughts. Some of the most innocent, non-suspecting people have the worst thoughts, and these people are scrolling through your feed. So let's just say you're walking throughout your day, and you'll see someone that kind of like, maybe you're in public, or you're in a grocery market, and you see these people kind of looking at you like sideways, like they're looking at your dress, they're looking at your jeans, and like, well, those haven't even came out where I live yet, in their head, and they're like, how dare they? They're self-entitled. Like, these people who don't do anything to get themselves to where they need to be. Like, these will be people who will not do anything to push themselves to their highest good. They'll actually go backwards. They'll put more effort in going backwards than they will forwards, and they want to evil eye people who are putting the effort in going forwards. That's where the evil eye comes from. People who don't have what you have because you're putting in effort. You're asking God. God is giving it to you, and these people who don't have God in their lives, and people who literally have demons that surround them that they embody, will evil eye what you have. Like, how dare they put in effort and work towards their highest self? And you're walking throughout your day, you don't even talk to some of these people, and they're sending you the evil eye. That's what black tourmaline is for. That's what malachite's for. That's what amethyst is for. That's what Mexican fire agate is for. It's when the people who have no business sending you negative energy, and sometimes, I'll give you a little, for the people who watch my videos that are a little longer, you're going to get some secrets. The one way that you can tell when someone evil eyes you is you feel a little bit of, and if you're wearing a crystal, especially from FloridaStoneman.com, black tourmaline, I don't have Mexican fire agate anymore. Just malachite's wonderful for eating the evil eye. But you wear these crystals, while you're wearing the crystal, especially as a necklace, you will feel something on your skin that feels like a flick. It's like, hey, a fly just touched me. And you look over, and you'll see someone looking at you. It could be someone you could not have possibly spotted. And that means it's been sent back. You'll just feel a tiny little flick. Sometimes it's your angel tapping you on the shoulder and be like, hey, just take care of this for you. Just use the energy of your tourmaline or your Mexican fire agate or your malachite to send something back that you didn't have to deal with. Or sometimes they won't even tell you. Sometimes you won't get the flick because it didn't matter. That was so small and minuscule. Sometimes to let you know just so you recognize it and like, hey, yeah, this is your neighbor sending you the evil eye. Like, this person does this pretty often. Just wanted to let you know. Okay. That's that. So the easiest way to not get evil-eyed is not by putting emojis up. You can put black tourmaline on your story if you want. Although people are not going to evil-eye black tourmaline. Like, you can, for example, if you post a car that you just got and you put black tourmaline in it, sometimes, since the picture's a direct portal to the exact car, people will evil-eye the car, even though it has tourmaline. So the tourmaline will drive it off somewhat, but you posted it anyway, so it does have some kind of bypasses. And that's why people's cars have the most trouble right when they get them, is because people will post them and talk about them like crazy, and people will be envious because the person's probably too lazy. I mean, some people actually have the availability to get the car, but they don't want to get up and get the car. A lot of people do that. It's wild. And it can be the simplest of cars, too. But it can be the simplest of anything. It can be the simplest of scooters, bicycles. It could be a skateboard. I've seen people fly a skateboard. Well, you guys get the message. But if you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Ciao.